So, I think this is the third Northern Toy Fair that I've been to, and this one was very busy. I did go much earlier today, and I actually went twice. I took my two sons with us the first time, and then I went back to have a look and shoot some more footage because it was really, really good. And it started off first with some excellent big figures here. Terminator 2. I suppose I've concentrated on that because of the new Terminator 2D No Fate game, which looks tremendous, and I'm going to be playing that soon on the channel as a bit of a first. But there was lots and lots of really good toys here, actually, for all sorts, I suppose. So you had loads of figures. There was loads of Star Wars stuff. I'm not sure if this is the older stuff or newer stuff, but I would have thought it was going to be more rarer than how often I see it. But yeah, there was loads of these little Lego people, and the littlest one absolutely loved these. He was pointing them all out all the time, all the characters, all the Mario, Hulk, Captain America, everybody. Yeah, that was nice to see, and it was and he actually did say it was the busiest one. And it's quite tricky taking the two little kids around these fairs and obviously not getting into people's way. I thought this was quite funny having Glenn next to Negan. Won't do a spoiler, but you'll get the reference if you've watched The Walking Dead. That's some really good old school Star Wars stuff, and I paid attention to this big AT-AT because I remember that from my primary school, which was like 35 years ago or so now. There was a couple of game sellers. They did have that Nintendo 64 Rumble Pack, but it didn't have an insert. But the box was in really good condition. But for 30 quid, I'm not paying that for no insert, no paperwork for a Rumble Pack. But they did have some decent stuff on this stall here. And there's not usually many games at these events, unfortunately. Nothing like a proper games fair. They did have these pretty cool scale electrics and stock cars, but God, the price was crazy. It was £90 for that purple one. One of my sons really liked that, and I was like, I'm not paying 90 quid for that. Not when Christmas is around the corner. That's this really good pachinko, is it? I'm pretty sure, anyways. Machine, not one of them classic Japanese ones, but yeah, some really good old school stuff here, and there's loads of stuff going on. Obviously, as a big wrestling fan, I picked out Zombie Kevin Owens. That's a bit weird. I've never seen that. And here you go. You've got classic Hollywood Hogan in the Wolfpack colours. I probably should have picked him up, to be fair, just for me love of that. And me littlest picked out him, and I thought that was John Cena. I don't think it is. Let us know in the comments if you know who that was. I just thought because of the hair, it looked a lot like him. Biker Mason Mars, yeah, I don't see very often, and that was classic. Absolutely brilliant. A nice little Raiden figure, and obviously they've got that Mortal Kombat 2 film, and my god, how bad does the Street Fighter film look? It looks abysmal. Here we had a lot of He-Man stuff. That was quite apparent and popular at this event. Plushies, as per usual, were everywhere. This one had some really good stuff. Again, G.I. Joe stuff. If you remember on the last one, I picked up the Action Force VHS. Again, it was nice to see some classic wrestlers. And here, Greg the Hammer Valentine I had right next to Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And IRS there in the corner. All sealed as well. I mean, that's just tremendous. And then there he is. I pity this fool, Mr. T. He's class. I never realised they did Mr. T toys, to be fair. Not sure what the hell those weird things are. This stall had absolutely, well, I'm not sure if they're gems, but like really, really expensive figures. Some of them that I'll show up here were like 160, 200 pounds. You had the classic Turtles van, which I had back in the day, and a friend of mine had that as well. Bucky O'Hare at the back. Again, you've got all these loose figures. And I can't even name a lot of these, if I'm honest. I'm not sure if these are from early 80s, when I grew up in sort of mid-late 80s. But I didn't recognise quite a few of these. Obviously, again, more He-Man there. Power Rangers. The littlest has got a couple of Power Rangers at the moment, and he quite likes those, but they're more original ones, these ones. Again, you've got He-Man, Thundercats, G.I. Joe there. Again, this was a really nicely laid out stall. Really enjoyed looking at this one. And I do think that displaying your stuff correctly does bring a lot of people in. A lot of people just throw stuff on the tables and there you go, but when you take a bit of time and effort to display the stuff, it really helps, I find, anyways. Now, that might just be me. Yeah, this one, my son pointed out, I recognise this, but I can't remember it. Please let us know in the comments if you know whatever this Spider Queen thing is, because it was driving us insane and I couldn't remember what it was. You've got the Ghostbusters fire station here. I mean, how many people got that as a Christmas present? Same as the Jurassic Park compound. I mean, those would be defined as big presents, wouldn't they, back in my day? They had a lot of Aliens figures I did notice around. Not so many Predator figures, which I kind of look at, and I've mentioned on the channel that I kind of want to get into a little bit, but I'm just not ready to pull the trigger. Although, coming up in the new year in 2026, I am going to be starting off my own personal sort of toy figure collecting journey, focusing on a specific thing, so watch out for that on the channel. You've got The Rock here, everybody smells what he's cooking. Wish he would come back as the final boss. Whatever happened with that, bit of a waste of time, wasn't it? This stall had some LCD stuff. There you go, you've got the Donkey Kong Game & Watch. And actually I got talking to this fella, and actually he's got a shop, where was it, in Newton Aycliffe, called Only Food and Sauces, which is a tremendous name. And I got talking to him, and he's actually got quite a few LCD handhelds, which I'm interested in, which I've also mentioned. He also had some retro games here, Mega Drive stuff, and he had this sensational Back to the Future car. And he said to us, go on, buy that. And I had a look at the price, and there it was £600. And I thought, absolutely not. I don't like Back to the Future that much. But yeah, never mind. Again, more stuff. This is when I went back. So my son picked this up, and he wanted this shark really badly. And I felt bad for not getting him it. It was only £1, but I didn't have any change. But I went back and got him it anyways, as the good dad that I am, just to make it up to him. And he gives a big cuddle when I came back with it. So it's all worth it for £1, isn't it? You've got to make the kids happy, really. They only get one childhood. So yeah, so I went back. I had another little sweep through without the kids, so it's much easier to go around and stuff. A lot of classics. I mean, again, King Kong and Godzilla, as you see here. There was quite a few dinosaurs and Hot Wheels as per usual. This classic grandstand unit, brilliant. More games, and then look, they had this Mortal Kombat fighter's guide, which wasn't in the best condition, otherwise I probably would have picked that up. As you probably watched on the channel in the previous videos, I very rarely pick things up from these events, just sometimes. Because it's not really a retro gaming event, it's more toys. I did notice this PS3 Essentials. 2 people that I follow closely on YouTube are going for the PS3 Essentials. So I just pulled that out as a bit of a nod to those 2 channels there. I've mentioned them in the past. And again, a lot of loose cards here and games. Look at these NES ones. Classic Snake's Revenge. And fun fact, does anybody actually know that the character on the Snake's Revenge label and box is actually Michael Biehn from the Terminator? It's when he goes into the future and he has the dream. That's actually what it was based off of, that. I'll put a picture on here anyways. More loose games and stuff like that. All over the place. Look at this absolute legendary Red Queen figure. It was massive, actually. It was brilliant. The big King Kong and Spider-Man, and again, probably a mistake taking the little one who's only 4 because he was literally wanting everything. He said it was the best one that he'd been to because he's been to a couple with us now. So I really like these Gremlins. They were really cool. I'm not sure if they're new, actually, because I've not seen them before, but the packaging looked very, very new. A lot of loose wrestlers, you see. These cool Five Nights at Freddy's figures. I've never actually seen that. Don't even know what type of game it is. The oldest one talks about Five Nights at Freddy's quite a bit, and I haven't got a clue what it is. It doesn't look that scary, I'll be honest with you. There was quite a lot of Lego and Lego sets going around. It was nice to see some that were actually built. A lot of Lego Star Wars stuff. Not really sure how rare and sort of on the money these sets were, if they're complete or whatnot. But yeah, I went back to this stall here. They had some brilliant. There was a Monster in My Pocket. I had those again. Apparently they're really rare and expensive now. I mean, look at this Krang here, 170 quid. I mean, again, toy collectors, is that fair? I don't know, but it seemed crazy. Again, there's loads of figures here. Pause this as long as you go. Some really weird stuff. I think that was Street Sharks there. Again, this guy, and these actually was talking to the guy here, Boglins. I had the one here that he had, which was Doink. And he also had, I think it was Drool or Zool or something like that, the big one, which I was showing the kids. And they were kind of interested in that from what I used to play with. I was telling them that they were like latex puppets, if you will. And then I seen this, hello Lois from Family Guy, looking sensational there, Lois. Happy Sunday to you. And then again, a load of sort of just random figures everywhere. Some good wrestling stuff, and yeah, that's right, it's gotta be Kane. Yeah, I love looking at some of the wrestlers' figures. I could easily get into wrestling figures, to be fair, but it's a rabbit hole I don't want to go down and explore. And that was it for, I suppose, the second last event of 2025. They are doing a Christmas special in between Christmas and New Year's. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to that, if I'm honest. Big shout out to Northern Toy Fairs for putting these events on in the Northeast. I really enjoy going to them. And many thanks to you guys for watching the channel as per usual. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.